What's up, y'all? It's Tisha the Diva, and this is for my ladies. This is my podcast where amazing things happen and we get to talk, discuss, and celebrate real women of color. This is for my ladies is just for you. This podcast is a place where I get to highlight not only my life dreams and goals, but yours too. I believe I was called to create a platform for myself to express not only my thoughts, but those of other women that's unfiltered and untamed. I plan to talk and discuss topics that interest me and other women. I want my audience to be engaged and aware, so any topics, email them to me at tishadediva@gmail.com. What's up, y'all? It's Tisha the Diva, and y'all already know what time it is. This is for my ladies. Welcome back to This is for my ladies podcast episode, season 2, episode 37 of This is for my ladies. If you have not already, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, leave a review, share with your family, with your friends, with your fellow ladies, with your fellow girlfriends. Let them know that there is this banging podcast that they need to listen to by yours truly, Tisha the Diva, and that they need to make sure that they tune in every single Tuesday. You can also become a supporter of this podcast by just clicking the link in my bio or wherever and just support this podcast with as little as $4.99 a month, okay? So it's not much. If you want to give a little bit more, God will bless you because you are blessing me. And when you bless me, you bless others. Blessings pour and runneth over, okay?
Yes.
All right, so that's what supporting Black business looks like.
Yes.
And speaking of Black businesses, I have asked, we have talked about collaborating for some time now.
We have.
Yes, with Conscious Kingdom.
Yes.
So welcome to This is for my ladies.
Thank
welcome.
you.
I am
Thank
so glad that
you
you are here because, we have some conscious listeners that's out there and people who are just pro-Black and even if they are, still just like, okay, yeah, but Black Lives Matter.
Right.
I definitely wanted to bring you on to just give a little bit of insight of what Conscious Kingdom is.
Yes.
How did you come about what Conscious Kingdom? How did you come up with Conscious Kingdom, and how people can get involved with Conscious Kingdom and Conscious Kingdom living in their own personal lives?
Yes.
So we just want to go ahead and open up with an introduction of who you are and what's your brand and what it is that you do.
Absolutely. Well, before I get all into me, we have to just give all of the honor and the glory to this beautiful diva here.
We need to put a little pause right there.
Pause right there, like the little
yeah.
I am always appreciative of a genuine spirit, and we have known each other
probably since 2012 or 13. We met
yeah.
at Hooters when I worked there.
Yeah. And even then you were just like, hey. And like I could just tell like you were such a genuine, like nice person. And then we found out we had like mutual friends
exactly.
and like hung out. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is like my sister in my head.
Yes.
And I just really appreciate that because in this world where it's so many like falsified friendships over like, oh, okay, who does she know? What's her like clout chasing type stuff? I really appreciate that. Every time I've ever been around you, you've been the same Tisha, same Tisha the Diva, like always. So
thank you.
I appreciate you even allowing me to be on your platform. Like it's all love.
Absolutely.
I've always supported everything that you've ever done, and you the same for me as well.
Yes.
So I really appreciate that.
You are so welcome. And thank you. Thank you. That means so much to me. Thank you.
No, because it's real. Real genuine sisterhood. Like that matters. Like it really does. The ancestors approve.
Okay. Yes, I say. All right, I say.
Yeah, we see you. I felt that. So just a little more about me and my brand. I am Monica Makita. My brand is Conscious Kingdom. It is a brand that I started back in about 2015. It is a pro-Black empowerment lifestyle brand. And I say it is a lifestyle brand because it's so much bigger than just the clothing and accessories. In addition to the dope apparel and everything that we offer, which you can shop online at shopconsciouskingdom.com.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, shop Conscious Kingdom. Outside of that, we also
and shout out
do.
to brands and logos too with the educated. I
Yes,
just had to,
that
make
is
sure,
so cute.
Educated because
Yes.
we're all educated about something. We don't have to always go to
Absolutely.
school and hold a degree.
Absolutely.
We can be the kitchen beauticians. We can be
Yeah.
the self-taught.
Absolutely.
And all of that stuff.
Absolutely.
So,
Because
yes.
life is the greatest teacher.
Come on now.
And trust me, we as Black people, we out here living it.
Exactly. Yeah.
For real.
Exactly.
So I love that. I love that. And honestly, my brand kind of ties into that as well because a major part of Conscious Kingdom is Black literacy. Comprehension amongst youth for Black youth is at its all-time low. And when you think about it, it's because it's a reflection of society right now. Like when I was growing up, I saw my mom reading, but now we see the kids see their moms on Instagram
Watching Love and Hip Hop.
Right, like it's like that you don't get that same kind of push like we had programs that encouraged us to read. So, and they don't really have that now. So a big part of Conscious Kingdom also, again, outside of just the clothing and everything, it is about Black empowerment. It's about unification. I work with other Black businesses. I put them in position to spotlight them. I don't wait until they get to like the major, like they went viral. It's like let's shout them out when they sitting here grinding every single day.
Yeah, because
like when they come in here on Tuesday doing their podcast every day.
Exactly.
Like, you know?
Yeah, I remember you starting Conscious Kingdom and you just growing your following and just everything too.
Yeah.
How many followers do you Conscious Kingdom currently have right now?
I have almost 20,000 organic followers. I did not purchase anybody. Everybody that is there is there out of nothing but love. And I am, like you said, self-taught. I wasn't advertising, marketing, any of that. Like it was all just me. And a major part of that is my premise for my brand, which is collaboration over competition. Like even if we both selling Ankh necklaces, like we gonna come together and do it together. And me having those type of partnerships with other Black businesses helped me grow exponentially. Yeah. Like so, it's been a beautiful ride. It really has. So I've encompassed, like I said, the Black literacy. Tutoring for the youth. I also do some mentorship as well. And with mentoring the youth, I also help and guide their parents. I am a healer of sorts. Have always been that person to be an open ear, talk to people. So with me going deeper into my spiritual journey, the ancestors just blessed that within me to be able to teach people the benefits of meditation, the benefits of just intentional thinking and conscious living. So
let me ask you a question because we have to go there, and I'm so glad that you are here because I want us to really go there because once people feel like you dive into consciousness and you're finally learning of self, they say, "Oh, it's voodoo, oh, it's witchcraft." So how do you differentiate, actual spirituality and because I feel like even voodoo still is their spirituality or witchcraft is still, but how do you kind of explain like this is what those that they took us away from, this is what we naturally and normally did, but it was taken away from us. Like, so how do you have those conversations with those people who don't understand the conscious way of living and thinking and the whole lifestyle?
To be honest, the major thing that I always do is, for one, I make sure that the person is even in a space to have an open mind to discuss it. While religion has its benefits, it also has its downside where it causes us to be so shut off from things. It's like if it ain't Jesus, we ain't touching that. We scared of it. Like it's like, but what I do once I get a person to see that they are at least open enough to have a dialogue, it's like the parallels are so similar. Like it's like the same way. It's like, oh, y'all rubbing those oils on you, and I'm like, isn't there holy water?
That's
and then
what
they're
I'm
like,
saying.
oh wow, and then they're like,
that's what I'm
like, y'all get down and pray.
Put on the ass and the scales fall up. Is that not the same?
It very much is
not the
same.
Performing miracles and doing, is that not the same as magic?
It's all the same. And like even with like people's like with altars, it's like they'll see like my altar and everything that I have set up with all my candles, and it's like, oh, she over there, brewing up spells, and it's like, don't you also pray to it's kind of just like once you put the
when
parallels
you go to
out
church,
there,
the podium is the picture, you got
all
the
of that.
cross.
It's
is you
all
not
the
still
same.
going to the altar?
Yeah, and my thing is, like for me, regardless of how people feel about what I believe in, I still believe in a higher power. I'm just not confined by what religion tells me I need to be and what I need to do.
Yeah.
I honor my ancestors. I honor the traditions and the things that they believed in because they are a part of me. They guided me.
How did you get to that part? Because I know for a lot of Black people, we don't really know where we come from. It's just like we just know we've been taught the Bible.
Right.
We have been taught, to walk by faith and, to not question or anything like that. So did you have like your parents or your grandparents telling like, this is where, you came from, this is so-and-so, and this is what they did?
Well, it's as beautiful as life is, because life is all about duality. I never want anyone to think what I think. I just want you to think. Yeah. Like, think for yourself and think cognitively. But to be honest, no, my mother is a very devout Christian. She still to this day will lay her hands on me and pray and everything. And I embrace it because I know her intention. Yeah. And I know that regardless
you let her have her thing.
Yeah. But it's still intentional. Yeah. It's still intentional to me. The same way I can manifest things, that's her way. And I just accept it that way. But for me, honestly, it was about a lifestyle change for me. So when I was, quick story.
Okay. Yes, let's get into the story, girl.
Quick story,
oh my God,
because I have lived, honey. I have lived. And back when I was in my teenage years, like 15, 16, I was always that younger cousin that was always out with the older cousins. So I'll be honest, I was clubbing. I was, I had fake ID.
Yeah, of course.
I was doing all that.
Did,
So there was one night where we actually got into something with some girls in a club, somebody had swung, we all followed up, it was that kind of thing, because that was our lifestyle. Yeah. So that's why I was like, I hate that people look at me and they don't think that I have both sides. Like, no, it's very balanced over here. That duality is real. But yeah, so
ratchet to rational, okay? Ratchet to rational,
all the spectrum, okay? Yeah. So in turn, after that happened, they saw us after the club, so of course they're mad because we banked on whatever, we jumped on whatever. Well, this was back in Richmond, so everybody had they souped up, the cars with the crazy paint jobs and the big rims and all that, and they were all like our homeboys. So I'm sitting in my homeboy car, his big old, he had a box Chevy, so I'm sitting on that, and I'm, just Nook if you bug, I'm just taunting the girl, and I remember I stomped her out. So I remember I'm all in her face like da talking, popping big mess, girl, and they just pull off. But something in my spirit was like, something ain't right. Like, I ain't feel right. Like, it ain't feel like a regular night. So I was right. They came back. And to this day, I can still see it like slow-mo. She rolled the window down. I just see the window creeping down. And next thing I know, I saw her put a gun right out and just pointed it at me. And they just started shooting. And the only thing, I still don't know how I didn't get hit. Because even when we went back later, where my butt was at. Yeah, because it was my homeboy car and stuff. So we still went to check on them, everybody good. When we went back, it was a bullet right where my left butt cheek was, girl.
Wow.
Because I told you I was sitting on the car. I was popping my shit. So, but yeah, what happened was, once she started shooting, I just ran. I took off. Didn't look back. I just was running. And when I stopped, I was at this intersection of Broad Street and Monroe. And that used to be my alter ego, Monica Monroe. I was the Black Marilyn Monroe. Everybody knew me for that. I always had blonde hair. That was my persona. And I was right there on the intersection of Broad Street and Monroe. And when I looked up, there was an African shop. I looked up, there was this huge ankh in the window.
Wow.
And I had always had because I was a dancer by trade, so I always had West African dance teachers telling me you need to know thyself, and I'd seen the symbols, but I'm I don't know nothing about that. It kind of rolled my eyes at it, but once I saw that, I'm I think that this is a sign. Wow. I think that I need to get into it. So from there, I discovered Marcus Garvey. I just started really reading and actually listening to my elders more, and that's what really took me on this spiritual journey, because At that time, I had recently lost my father unexpectedly as well.
Wow.
He transitioned, and just me getting deeper into my spirituality helped me cope. Because I tried to go to church and I tried to, well, he's in heaven, but I was angry with this God that took my dad, So it was like I had to find what worked for me, and meditation was the only thing that it calmed me down. It gave me clearer thinking, and I was able to accomplish so much more.
Well, because some people like hear meditation and they just like, oh, okay. So walk us through like how a meditation session would normally go, like how a meditation session with Monica would go.
Absolutely. So what I want people to eliminate is that stigma of like you're meditating in. I know we all reference Tina Turner.
Numb your heart and get you. Numb your heart and get you.
Like everybody always like every time I say I meditate, they like, oh, so you sit there with your
Tina
bowl.
Turner stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And
I saw that on somebody post today. Like actually, and I was done. I was done.
That's really what they think. And it's funny because that's so many different types of meditation. That's one that's called transcendental meditation, where you complete a saying over and over and over. You don't have to, chanting. Okay. Yeah, you don't have to do that. Like some people literally
people be chanting when they be playing music over and over again.
Right.
Okay,
again,
don't even know it.
It's all very similar. As above, so below. Like if we stop thinking that everything is so different, we'll see how similar we are and how much we have in common.
Exactly.
So honestly, to anyone initially starting off meditation, I always just say, think of how beneficial it could be if you could have 5 minutes of silence. No kids, no man, nobody at your job, no phone, no nothing. You can just have 5 minutes to really just take time to process your thoughts. And that's what I tell people, even if it's like right before you wake up or right before you go to bed, just take time to process your day. When you think about how our brains work, it's literally like constant interaction. You talking to me, you on your phone, you watching TV, you tweeting, you posting, you taking a boomerang, like it's always constantly like we're engaging our minds. It's constant motion. But it's like, what are you really processing? How are you really giving gratitude for anything? If all you're doing is running, like just slow down, process your thoughts. And I feel like when you take time to actually process your feelings, you can handle them better. You won't pop off. You won't be so quick to get to rage. You'll be able to understand, okay, that's why I feel like that. And you can operate through life easier without being so erratic, child.
Right. So 5 minutes of just processing your thoughts.
Yes, you can do some deep inhale, exhale, like really just do that and just focus on your breathing. Tune out everything else. Turn off every electronic. Don't have your TV on mute and have housewives in the background. Like, no, turn everything off. You don't need to hear Nene in the background yelling in your ear. Like, calm, like just calm it. And even if you're not a person that's prone to silence, there are actual frequencies that you can listen to that can help you align and relax.
Just name just a couple of them, because some people are at that stage of just coming within consciousness or just like, what should I listen to? Or so I know it's like what binaural sounds or hertz frequency,
the hertz frequencies
and all that good stuff or whatever. So, and for those who have like Spotify or iTunes music, you can actually search meditation music or frequency music or healing music.
There are actual meditation mixtapes. The same way your cousin out here got his mixtape out there, it's meditation mixtapes too.
It's a market, y'all. Let me find out. Hey, you got that new meditation music?
Right.
Let me find out.
Like, girl, I was relaxed as fuck. Yes, sis, I was, girl. It was so good.
Oh my God, I'm so weak.
And that's what I do love about my brand, because it allows us to have these kind of conversations. Like I said, this goal is not to brainwash you into being like the super woke hotep conscious person, because my brand conscious is not even like I'm conscious, I'm super woke. It's just consciously living, being aware of your surroundings, being aware internally what you're like, how you're feeling, what you're thinking, why you're thinking it, why, like, what impact are you putting out into this earth?
Exactly, because you said that it is like pro-Black living, and I know on one of your recent Instagram posts, probably like a couple of weeks ago, how you was saying how a lot of the things that you use, like your dentist, your account are all Black.
Absolutely.
How you use all Black people for everything.
Absolutely.
So that is even also conscious kingdom, like conscious living. Like I consciously choose to only associate and just, buy Black. Buy from my brothers and my sisters and all that stuff. Because what I was, telling somebody, what people don't realize, you're supporting the community when you buy Black.
Absolutely.
And
that dollar is circulating in our community as opposed to going elsewhere.
Exactly. And whether or not it's like that person is doing anything, but either way, you're still helping support, And
I look at it as long as I'm doing, if we all just do our part, like, just do your part. Nobody is saying that everybody ain't gonna be Nipsey Hussle. Everybody can't go out here, buy a whole shopping mall, employ their cousin. Like, we get it. But
I'm glad you mentioned that, too.
Yeah.
So how do you feel that the death of Nipsey Hussle has affected, just the Black community and just the world? Because I know some people was like, Nipsey Hussle death was bigger than Tupac, and the only reason why I feel like that is because of social media. Like, I mean, of course, it would be bigger than that because of social. They didn't have social media in 1996, or whatever. But you still have to think.
But I don't like that comparison because regardless of that, I've heard it as well. I've heard it too.
Stupid.
But at the same time, I feel like we're so self-centered as Americans. When you travel the world and you look at the entire African diaspora, I've been in other countries and seen murals of Tupac with no social media.
Right.
So it's like you can't question the impact that somebody's had when it's people who sometimes don't even know how to speak English but know
how to sing some English words.
And it's Tupac lyrics. So it's like you got to really, focus on that. That's important. But as far as Nipsey, this hit home for me because I have truly been a fan of his. Like, I've been listening to him since the beginning, like his Crenshaw mixtape. Like, I've been on it. And I just followed his entire everything. And the things that he did for his community is a lot of the blueprint of what I am planning to do and what I am doing for Conscious Kingdom. So, like, his entire STEM project that he had for science, technology, and engineering and all of that, like, that's what led me to explore the Black literacy rates. Yeah. Like, it was like, wow, like, dang, we really don't have a lot of kids in science and technology and engineering and math.
Were you working in the school system at one point?
So I wasn't in the school system, but I've always just worked with kids. Like, I was working at the rec program, and those, like, and they're still my babies. Like, to this day, they're getting their masters, and they still call me like, Mommy. I'm like, I have never birthed any children, but I have kids. So just being connected to them through the rec program, when they went into school, I would still be there at the schools, volunteering, helping, and everything. But, just again, like I said, with everything that Nipsey was doing, it impacted me and inspired me to want to do more. So it's so many programs that are being, like, currently in the works to be implemented. So I can't speak yet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. But just know, like, it's a lot of community work being done because for me, I feel like we focus so much on what's happening on the exterior when we can focus on the ground level, like, what's right here, what's me and you, like, what can we do? And that's more of what Conscious Kingdom is all about.
Gotcha. Yeah, absolutely. Because I know some people, with the death of Nipsey Hussle, they were just saying how can you mourn or be sad for somebody that you didn't even know.
Yeah, but
and I thought that because I had to tell somebody because the same thing with me getting the traffic light up. I didn't know Gregory Bateman Jr.
Yes.
I didn't know him. Never met him a day in my life. Never met his family. Never seen none of them.
But you felt that.
But I felt that.
Yeah.
I felt it enough to do something, to want to do something.
Exactly.
So pulse check. What y'all out here doing?
What you doing? Like,
community nip. Like, what's up? I mean, because people talk about so much stuff of what they need, what people need to
do. Right.
and
Everybody has the answers, but who has the action?
Who actually exactly?
Like,
and that's what I had talked about on several of my podcasts. It was like living your dreams and even, you know, a call to citizenship.
Right.
We see a problem. We see an issue.
Yeah.
We raise a problem, raise an issue like, oh, why did, you know.
Right.
So now,
we have the vocal, like we always will speak on it.
Exactly. But then it's just like we don't even want to take the extra step to, like you said, to follow up with an action, to follow up with a solution, with a plan.
Right.
It's
because
like,
the same way, like with you, when I saw that you were doing that, that's why I immediately supported it, because I'm like, I've never known you to be like a politician or even have those aspirations.
Right.
But regardless of that, it's like I saw a problem.
Right.
I saw this family hurt by this.
Exactly.
I'm gonna do what I can.
Right.
And I remember like looking at your Insta snaps and stuff and seeing you researching what you need to do. Like I remember you were like, okay, y'all, so this is what I need, and you showing the screen. It's like everybody can do that.
Exactly.
We all have access to the library.
Can do it.
Like,
and that's what, exactly. And
like
I
we all
spent
can do
so
that.
much time just in the library.
Yeah.
And then calling, you know, some of my friends, you know, one of my really best friends from high school who does, you know, the community development in Rhode Island, New York, and Detroit. So I'm like,
see,
you know,
networking.
It's networking exactly across.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
not
Issa
trying to
Rae
aim,
saying,
girl,
exactly.
Not trying to always aim up. Like, oh, I want to work with this person. Like, no, work with this person that's right across from you. Yeah.
Exactly. And it was just, I saw how easy. It wasn't hard at all. And people think that everything is so hard. And we just take information. Well, somebody told me that you got to do this and do versus just actually going and seeking the information for yourself. And that's just like another thing what conscious kingdom is and conscious living. Yeah. It's just, again, finding the information out for yourself and implementing it versus just taking somebody else's word as fact and as face value.
Absolutely.
So,
and that's why I think it's so important to just, like you mentioned, like knowledge of self. Once you know who you are, you know all that you can accomplish. And it's like, I think for the most part, I say it all the time, like we're so used to acting out of like desperation and lack thereof. Like it's like when you get out of that mindset, again, consciously knowing who you are and being aware of what you are, it's like you're able to see those possibilities.
Exactly.
But if you're only listening to what somebody tells you, when it's like, oh, well, you didn't go to college. You know, you didn't do this. Your mom and your dad are from this neighborhood. Like, it's like if you just take what you're fed, then that's what you're going to have. But it's like my entire goal in all of this is just to get us as Black people to not only expand our minds, but just to live better lives. Like, just live better, live more in our purpose, and be happy.
Yeah.
Like, how many people are actually living in a life that they're happy about?
Right. And I mean, I know not too many people. And it's like they say they are, but it's just like, wait a minute. You can't say that you are, but then it's just like you find every single little thing you can pinpoint what everybody else is doing.
Right.
Because when you're living in your happiness, you're living in your happiness.
Right. And your happiness and your peace.
And your peace. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what state do you think African Americans or the Black culture is currently in? Like, what sort of state do you think we're currently in?
So it's kind of a double-edged sword for me because I think that we're on the precipice of something really dope, right? Like with our generation, with all of the information that we have, and we just have this fire about us. I don't really know how to describe it. Like, people try to talk a lot of mess about millennials, but we got a lot to say.
Yeah.
And we doing the work I feel like a lot of us, it's a lot of movers and shakers. And in addition to that, I feel like we're doing the work to heal from some of the traumas that came from the ancestors before us. And like, I think that it's really dope because on one hand, we are putting in that work to be like, you know what? No, there are mental health issues out here. Yeah. There are things that we need to address. There are toxic behaviors that I've seen my mama, my grandmama, and them all them do, but I don't want that anymore, or I'm not okay with it, and I'm gonna speak out on it. And it's like we said, like it's things in the community that we don't like. Instead of just being like, well, you know how it is around here.
Yeah,
we
instead of being accepting of it,
right?
Yeah,
we are like questioning everything.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that we are in a very like it's a pivotal moment for us because like right now we have that energy, like that energy is rising us up, and I think that once we finally hit that peak, like real change is going to occur. There are so many entrepreneurs, there's so many people talking now about their credit scores and ownership instead of just like, well, I'm gonna find me a good job and I'm gonna work there for 40 years. Like it's like not that I am ever talking down on
anybody
our
with a
parents
9 to 5
or anybody that came before, because that's the love that raised me. I'm never gonna talk down on it, but I do know that
when you know better, you do
better. And that's all that I want for our people. Like don't ever take it like this is coming from a place of judgment. It's coming from a place of how can we grow?
How can we grow?
I think that we're in a really dope space. Like people are exploring their spirituality more. They're reading more.
Yeah.
But then on the other hand, there is that percentage that we are leaving behind. And that's the kind of thing that makes me do a double meditation. Yeah. Because I'm such an empath that I want to be, I want everybody to come. But, you know, even the greats like Marcus Garvey said, everybody can't, everybody won't be with us. But I still worry about them.
Yeah.
So I think that we're, like I said, it's a double-edged sword. I think we're in a really great place. But then we also have some people that we still have to kind of coddle into joining the wave.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what it's gonna take for everybody to get on this wave, because the wave is going.
Yeah.
Like it's strong. The current is strong.
Okay. All right.
Like it's strong.
Okay.
Like it's so many dope Black creatives popping up now, and it's like it's a wave happening. But like I said, like for the people that still not like the non-believers, like I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? But girl, those are the things that plague my mind. Like, how can I get them to see how great they are?
So what resources or tools do you feel that we need as Blacks in order to thrive and be successful?
Ooh, so for me personally, I think that the beginning of any of that, before we can get to the money, to the ownership or any of that, I think that we have to heal. We have to heal. We have to have those conversations with those family members, with those cousins, with those friends, with those lovers, ex-lovers, husbands, wives. Like we have to have those conversations.
Yeah, I agree.
To really, because we're walking around with a lot of baggage, emotional baggage.
Yeah.
Like I have an entire segment in my podcast called Pack Light, where it's just like those conversations that we don't want to have, we need to have them.
And that's so crazy because you said Pack Light, and then my podcast that I had last week, Let There Be Light.
Yeah.
I was talking about the relationship with me and my father and how I know that in order for me to move forward and just be the great woman that I know I can be, and as far as like a wife and a mother and all of that stuff, there are some things that him and I just need to air out.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I know that in order for me to be in a healthy relationship with any man, I need to get this relationship with this man.
Right. You have
first,
to. Because if not, you'll take all of those things into that.
But then also acknowledging, because I talk about in a lot of my podcasts, like, emotional intelligence, how I'm a very emotional person.
Yes.
And what?
Girl, it's so real though. That's real.
I had to understand that, okay, I know I can't act like this. I know I can't retaliate like this.
Right.
I know that I can't allow, this person to get me out of character.
Right.
So absolutely. So I definitely feel you on that's one of the necessary tools that we do need is healing.
Like we have to
because
heal.
what's the purpose of attaining any of the riches and the glories and the wealth, and you haven't even healed from small things, because then you act out and then you become an abuser of some substance or something. And then we have R. Kelly's and Bill Cosby's or whatever.
The cycle
but
just
it
keeps continuing.
Exactly. So I definitely do think that, you know, we do need much healing, that we need much healing. So, now, I know we did talk about it, but just explain what Conscious Kingdom really is and what made you turn that into a brand.
Yeah, so I feel like I mentioned, like, you know, the elders and the ancestors and everything, but what really made me turn it into a brand was, like we talked about, right? Like, we'll sit, like, I just like everybody else, I would sit around with my brother and my cousins, and I would have all this stuff to say, right? Like, I got such a strong opinion. Yeah. And it's a part of my culture where I'm from. I'm from a small town. I'm from Virginia called Charles City. Hey, y'all.
Charles City.
Charles City, yes, ma'am. But it's a part of our, like, my upbringing is very tribe-like. Yeah. So it's not unheard of for me to, you know, take a shot with my elders. Like, we'll have libation together. Like, you know, we party together. We have a good time together.
And explain what libations are for those who do. Because some people really don't know what some things are.
Right. No, you're right.
Make sure that they're educated. So
it's a libation is a drink in honor of a loved one, an ancestor, or just in honor of the moment.
So when you pour out one for the homies, that's a libation.
Yes, that's inspired. Like, that's inspired by African culture. Like, we do it because we saw it. Oh, I don't even know what we saw it on a music video or something. But that came from. That came from African culture. And if you watch Nipsey's Homegoing, his mother did that prior to her speaking. So that's how you should know. Like, it's very deep rooted. But like I said, it's common for me to do that with my elders. And one day, regular day, we just sitting around, you know, me with my strong opinion, and I'm got all this to say. And my grandmother was just like, well, with all this information that you got, what you doing with it? She's like, what are you doing? She like, all this that y'all have. Y'all got the internets and the Facebooks. They put an S on everything. The Snapchats.
It only got to be an S. Selena's with an S.
Right. So she asked me that. I really had to think about it. Like, I'm like, dang, like, you right. Like, what am I doing? And I really, like, that night, I remember laying down, and I'm like, I don't want my children to look at me and be like, Mommy, what were you doing when? Because what we're living in now will be in the history books. Yeah. I don't want my child, because I've done this to my mom. Like, oh my God, Mom, what did you do when this happened?
And she when they was doing they just want to go out there when they was recruiting for the Black Panther.
Right.
You didn't want to go. That didn't move you. It was people that moved from New York to California. You didn't want to do that.
Like, you ain't want to have your jacket on and pick your fro out, like all that.
Well, so my mom wasn't alive during that time, but
mine wasn't either. But
my grandma was. Yeah. Grandma, you ain't want to go out there and do that.
But I've had those questions for them, so I'm like, I don't want my kids to look at me and I'd be like, oh, I had shared a picture of Trayvon on my Instagram. Like, I didn't want it to just be that.
Exactly.
So with that call of action from, you know, which I always look at everything as divine order. That just inspired me to create this entire brand. Like, I knew that I wanted it to be clothing and accessories, because that's kind of just that's just a part of me. Like, I've always had like my own little dope vibe about me, how I dress. Like, they always be like, oh, you the Badu of the crew. I would be the girl in the club with a head wrap on, but still slaying. Like, that'll be me. Like,
because you was wearing head wraps when I met you, and this was in 2012.
Honey,
so,
That's how people be like, oh, that's cute that you do this now. I'm like, no,
I've been doing it.
Been doing it before the trend. Right. But just taking the very authentic parts of myself, I wanted to, you know, make the clothing and the accessories that part. But then I'm like, I want to make this so much more. I want to incorporate symbols that were a part of our African heritage that people might not know what it means. I want to incorporate that into my logo and into my clothing. So it's a conversation starter. It's like, oh, what does that mean? Like, that's because I've had people look at my ankh and be like, oh, that's a different cross you got on. What is that? And I'm like, no, it's not a cross. It's an ankh. And then next thing you know, we having a conversation.
Yeah.
So it's like, I
So
wanted
it's like
it to be that.
Then this goes into brand education.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, I've seen people see my brand and be like, oh, no, I know what that is. Like, they pointed it out. So that was important for me to have that distinction, as well as, like I said, I wanted it to be deeper than just that. I wanted it to be a pro-Black empowerment lifestyle brand. So a major part of it is, like I said, I work with Black-owned businesses, because outside of just being an entrepreneur, I have over 15 years of HR experience as an HR professional, and I'm also currently serving in the military. So it's a lot of different things that, and prior to even starting this business, I had a not-for-profit for children. So it's like I've been experienced so many different things that I know that the Most High has ordained for me to obtain all of this knowledge. And none of it means anything if I'm not giving it back.
Exactly.
So it's like a major part of the brand is doing business consultations for Black-owned businesses. I host events that highlight nothing but Black-owned businesses. You can come and vend. You can do presentations. I've done fashion shows. All of that just to highlight what people have going on. And I have on my YouTube channel, I interview for free Black-owned businesses so they can talk about their brand. You can tell your story, how you got started, where people can shop with you. And it's called Ubuntu, which is UBUNTU, Ubuntu.
Ubuntu. And what does that mean?
That means I am because we are.
Ooh.
Yes.
Ubuntu, girl. Oh, Ubuntu.
Yes.
Okay.
yes.
Ubuntu.
So, yes, everybody, like, you got your own brand. Like, you need to be focusing on your own marketing. No. Because I am because we are.
Yes.
The same way I can thrive, you can thrive with your podcast. I can thrive with mine. We can be on each other's show. Like, it's like we can do it together.
Exactly, like we are doing right now.
now.
Exactly. So make sure you check out Conscious Kingdom, okay?
And make sure you are listening to This Is For My Ladies.
Exactly.
Every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday. So you said, we are, so you too, right?
Yeah, I am because we are.
I am because we are.
Yeah.
You spoke about collaboration versus competition. So explain the difference between the two, because some people just look at everything as, instead of just collaborating together, it's just like, oh, you doing this and I'm going to do this. Like, why don't people feel that they can come together even with the same product?
I think that we have been kind of taught to feel as though there is a scarcity. Like, me and you both can't get to the top because it is only but so much space and so much resources for Black people, right? Like, we're just made to think. And I think it's all even linked deeper to, like, the welfare and the government assistance thing, because it's like, you might get approved but I might not, so then I gotta make sure, like, don't approve her, she got a man in her house. Like, it's always like this, like, very toxic competition. And that has bled over into our psyche. But when you get into, like we've been saying this entire time, conscious living, when you are aware of there is an abundance of resources in this world. Like, me and you can both be millionaires, billionaires. Like, there is nothing limiting us, like, that's available to us. So I think that most people fear that because they're like, I can't put you on because if you get on, you're going to knock me off.
Exactly.
But me and you in two different lanes.
Right.
Like, me and you talk about two different things. Me and you are two different energies. I can build you up and you can build me up, and we both can be there. Like, one of my absolute best friends, best business friends, her name is Tanisha. She's the owner of her own boutique, Meet Your Needs. Check her out, Meet Your Needs LLC. She always says, every time we talk, I love you, sis, meet you at the top.
Yeah.
And I know she mean that.
Exactly.
She's never tried to keep anything away from me. Any opportunity, she sending it to me 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. Like, girl, you want to do this with me? It's never like, oh, yeah, I heard about it, I didn't think you want to do it. It's never shady. It's always like, I'm going to meet you at the top. We can do this together. Two different brands, owned by two Black women. You know what I mean? So that's what those are the type of relationships that I pride myself on. That's the beauty of this brand and what it's created in my life. Real genuine sisterhoods, real real connections with people that are making impact that I feel, because it's impacting my life. So I hope it's impacting theirs too.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's been really dope. It's been a dope journey.
So, and I know you had spoke, you were saying like it goes back to kind of like the whole thing with welfare and government assistance.
Yeah.
Because there has been a very, very kind of like competition between other Black women. Why do you think that, we see our own sisters as competition versus like, we walking side by side, hand in hand, helping each other out?
Yeah. I think that, like we spoke about earlier, I think it all comes into it all links back to us needing to heal. A lot of women, which I learned even while I was in college, a lot of women have never even seen a positive female to like woman to woman relationship. Their mama don't like their aunt. Their aunt don't like their mama. Their cousins don't get along. Somebody messing with somebody's boyfriend. Like, it's like they haven't even seen what that looks like. But again, if we took the time to have those conversations and heal and actually let people know what their emotional transgressions were, like, Tisha, that hurt me when you did that.
Yeah.
And you tell me, oh my God, I wasn't even trying to do that. I didn't even know he was over there. Right. It's like, next thing you know, we have a conversation and we've killed it.
Exactly.
Like, I feel like that's a big part of it. We're not in a space, we're not emotionally intelligent enough to
that EQ.
Right. We're not in a space where we can even express ourselves eloquently enough that people can receive it. So like we talked about, like people are kind of just running through life, reacting off of a hair's notice. Like it's like we gotta slow down and we gotta process this stuff.
We touched on that in my podcast from last season, the Superwoman Complex. So we did a part 1 and a part 2.
Yeah,
and it was basically just talking about like the competition that we see, with other women and just not being able to praise them for what it is, that they do, or even, like we said, not seeing other healthy relationships with other women in order to establish, our own.
Right.
So I definitely agree with that. So how has building Conscious Kingdom been for you on a personal level?
For me, it's been such a great journey. It's like I always tell people, being an entrepreneur is not for the faint of heart, honey. It really causes you to challenge yourself, especially in this like social media, Instagram world. Like I say it all the time, like I could have been on had I cut corners. I could have been on had I lost sight of what my mission is.
Yeah.
Like it's so easy to get money. It's so easy to do it. Like, and it's funny because everybody knows that I'm a huge, like I cried real thug tears when Nipsey died. Like it really hurt me. Like I felt like that was like, I felt that. Everybody was like, oh man, you should make a Nipsey shirt. You're going to make plenty of money. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I'm not selling no merch with this man on there because that goes against my branding. That goes against who I am, my integrity. Like, yeah, I could put his face on a shirt, but why I'm going to do that when this man got a whole clothing line himself?
Exactly.
Like, you want to support something, go to the marathon.
Right.
I don't need to like, it just seems so like conniving, but those are the kind of things that it's like, I could have been did that.
Yeah.
I could have been like, just put Black Queen on something and sold 1 million of them. Like, it's like, but no, like I want to make more of an impact than just these clothes. It's an empowerment lifestyle. I don't want you to just buy my shirt because, oh, you cute. Okay, yeah, I buy a shirt. Like, no, I want to build with you.
Yeah.
Like, what are your goals? What's your aspirations?
Yeah.
What you, like, you got kids? Like, what you teaching your kids? Like, it's more than that. And for me, just that challenge. Because some days it gets frustrating.
Yeah.
Some days I want to just be like, well, you know what? I'm about to just make a crop top that got a whole little slit right here and just put it on the gram and find me another couple Instagram models and go viral off it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, kind of cut them corners of, like, using little tactics like sex sales and stuff like that. Like, I could have easily done that, but that's not going to, that's not ultimately what I want my brand to be. And just having those conversations, like internal dialogues of like, stay true to who you are or go and follow the wave of everybody else so you can get put on has really caused a lot of self-growth. Because it really makes you look at yourself, like question your self-worth, like how much do I really love myself? How much do I have faith in myself? And I've gotten to the point now where it's like, I have faith in myself like I'm a religion. Like, I feel that. Like, I feel that if nobody else believes in this, but my mama in Charles City, Mama, I love you. If don't nobody else believe in this, I know that I do.
Yeah.
Like, and I know that my intentions are good. Like, I know what I'm trying to do will have an impact, even if it's just on 3 or 4 people.
Yes.
So, for me, this journey has just led me to be authentically me in every sense of the word. Like, I'm not taking off my hair wrap. I'm not changing. I'm not toning down my jewelry. I'm going to keep talking my shit.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of talking some shit. So we both share a love for music and dance and culture.
Yes.
So
I want to say that's really how we bonded.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, through dance. Through
right.
dance. So in what ways do you feel that our girl Beyonce represents the culture? Because I know you caught Homecoming on Netflix.
Absolutely.
And I just go ahead and tell me your thoughts.
Girl, I had turned all the lights off in my apartment. I lit candles, girl, had me a wine. I'm like, come on, auntie. Show me the way. It was so good. I love the space that she's in right now.
Yeah.
Like, I swear, ever since she did that Lemonade video and she had that gold on, which, if you're familiar with the Orishas, that is like she was paying homage to Oshun, which I'm pretty sure is like her goddess, but I never really looked it up. But as good as she looked in them colors, I'm like, that's what it is. But, man, I just feel like she's been in such a wave of just, like, unapologetically black. Yeah. And I think that it's so dope with her having young Blue Ivy. And, I mean, we all her kids. Like, everybody who looks up to her, like, I just think it's so dope. I think that she is really in just, like, her divine purpose right now.
Absolutely.
Like, because
absolutely. Because I was like, she is glorious.
Yeah.
Like, everything that she does. And I know some people was like, oh, I watched it and I didn't get that. And it's okay if you didn't get that.
What did you
watch? Right, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But my whole thing is, it's like, especially if you're a woman and you have a daughter and you have a niece.
Right.
And it's just like, that gives them something to look up to look like, you know, I can be who she is. I can do what she want to do.
Representation.
Representation of just a black woman, of a black culture, of a black mother, as a black business owner.
Yes.
So even if you looking at it and you didn't get moved by the performance or whatever, be moved by who she is and what she's doing and what she's standing for.
Her mind, her work ethic.
Her work ethic.
Yeah.
Her work ethic. Like, I had seen a meme that was like, Beyonce rehearsed for 8 months just for 2 hours.
Right.
For 2 hours, 8 months.
8 months.
And had to transition her body from having twins.
Yes.
From having twins and all that stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like, be like Beyonce. Y'all already know. That was like episode 2, okay? It's just like episode 2, season 1. Because it's just like, she's a business model. Like, just a whole business model, goals, all of that.
All of that.
They say pictures, they say goals. Bitch, I'm who she trying to be.
Like,
okay.
For real.
Yes.
And even outside of that, because I know women are just, I feel like we are already in this, women always set the tempo for one. I know that it's painted that, you know, men are the leaders, but even Beyonce said that, ran by the man, but the women keep the tempo. Like, we are the backbone of all of this. And I just hope that men watching that and men looking at her journey take that as a moment to also honor the divine that is the black woman.
Come on now, because any man that got anything to say about Beyonce, you
girl, and that's what's crazy, because like Jay-Z is y'all king. He's Hov. He's everything.
Hov, exactly.
Look at how he admires her.
Exactly.
And look at all that he himself has accomplished. Like, that should let you know that but girl, with everybody, don't get me started, because even looking at Russell Wilson and Ciara, like, honoring a black woman in your life provides you great fortune.
Come on now.
Like,
come on.
Honor the divine that is the black woman. Like, that in itself is a life lesson. Okay?
Right. Come on now.
Like, that in itself.
Honor that black woman, and thy days shall be
Long,
longer.
honey.
First Tisha, 716. Diva Chronicles.
Right, girl.
Conscious
the New
Kingdom.
Testament, honey.
Yes. Okay.
Seriously.
But yes. So how did you feel watching that? Like,
I was so moved just because I just love her transparency.
mm-hmm.
Because I know for me, I've always thought, like, this woman is just superhuman.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she is but for her to be that vulnerable. And one thing that I really loved is how she talked about her issues with her fertility initially. Like fertility issues within the black community is kind of something we sweep under the rug.
Mm-hmm.
So for Beyonce, like our queen, to talk about complications that she's had, and then not to mention the mortality rates that are happening to black women during their actual labor is double that of any other ethnicity.
Wow.
So for her to talk about the fact that during her labor, she had all of these issues, she had to, because I think she said that one of the twins' heart had started beating, and like we don't hear about that. All we see is a pregnancy picture, and then boom, look at my kids.
Yeah,
like it's like we don't hear about the struggles that women go through to bring life into this world.
Exactly.
The fact that I'm creating a human in my body, for one,
right.
in itself is crazy. But it's like we don't hear about that. So for her to just be so transparent and speak about those kind of things, like she is such a activist in her own, just by speaking out on stuff.
Yeah.
When her and Jay-Z spoke out about the LGBT community, like it's like just using their voice.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
I loved it. I felt so just inspired. And I felt like, girl, don't you dare give up.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like I felt like, how dare you get tired? Like, what? Like, this woman was literally like, I'm gonna go to Soul Cycle, I'm gonna do the stairs, I'm gonna breastfeed my twins, I'm gonna go and write a Grammy Award winning song. Like, it's like she's doing all of this. It's like you gotta have that hunger, you know? And I feel that. I ain't doing a Coachella performance, but I'm hungry.
Yeah,
I'm
here.
You
hungry for the conscious kingdom.
Yes,
okay?
like I want that. I want that.
Yes. So we had a conversation about Us, the movie Us, Jordan Peele. So just talk about because it was so much, and I really appreciated your review that I had watched on YouTube. So, I mean, at this point, y'all should have already seen it, so we not about to spoil
spoilers
nothing.
is over.
Exactly, so you should have seen it. So, let me get this. I don't want nothing to fall off,
you
okay?
Cute, girl. You cute. I was looking for you, sis. I was watching. Look, tell me your mind starts slipping too good.
So, talk about what you thought, what your reviews were of Us was.
So if you have seen the movie and you want to check out my review, you can look at it on my YouTube. Just search on YouTube Conscious Kingdom. I make everything really simple. You can find me, everything is Conscious Kingdom. So if you want to watch the full review, but basically what I said in the review, and I literally filmed it. I still had my date night makeup on. I sat on the couch and I recorded it right there because I was like, I gotta get this off my chest.
Yeah.
Get Out was so critical, right? Like Get Out was such a powerful message, and we all to this day we've implemented the oh gosh, I can't believe I'm forgetting what it's called. Where Kanye is, what is it called?
A sunken place.
Yes, the sunken place. We've implemented that into our black dialogue. You in a sunken place. Get Out was so meant so much to us. So I'm like, oh man, us, Lupita, and then Winston Duke is my baby daddy in my head. So I'm like, oh my gosh, it's about to be so good. And don't get me wrong, the actors and the actresses were
great,
phenomenal.
That's why I say go and see it because of the actors and the actresses. So
they killed it, but it was a miss for me. I feel like Jordan Peele tried to go too ambiguous. He tried to, how people try to leave too much out in the open. So it's I want you to think that you tried to go so deep that you just shallow.
Yeah.
Right. That's how, and everybody's doing all these deep dives. It's about this. It's about this. And it's I just didn't feel it.
Yeah.
I didn't really feel it. I felt like he could have just dived so much deeper. I felt like it was very on the surface.
Yeah, and I know when you were saying, at the beginning when he talked about the tunnels and never spoke of it again. I was like, that was the main miss for me.
That was the main miss.
Yeah.
Because, we saw that, little blurb at the beginning, and I'm like, other than that, we just saw the tethered version of the little girl dancing in the tunnel. But other than that, we never really got the sense of him comparing it to this entire underground world when that was the entire premise of the film. But he left that so open that people were like, well, no, it's about your mental health and the your good and bad and good versus evil and all
And
this.
I ain't
And it's
getting none
like,
of that.
I didn't get it either. Like I didn't get none of that either.
Yeah.
But I mean, but as always, like we both said, like definitely go and support it because the black actors and actresses were phenomenal. But I didn't walk out there feeling moved and inspired to write an entire 25-piece page.
Not at all. But honestly, like, when somebody had showed me the trailer for it months ago, I wasn't moved by it then either. Yeah. I was just like,
like what is this?
But I'm gonna go.
Right.
But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna support and all that stuff or whatever. Yeah. And then of course when I win, I'm just like, just how I thought. I knew it was gonna be trash. I just knew. I wasn't feeling it. I just knew. I wasn't feeling it at all. Yeah. So, is there anything new with Conscious Kingdom that is coming? Like, can we be expecting any new projects that you can speak about?
Absolutely.
Any new apparel? Any new interviews or any new events that you have coming up?
Absolutely. So, like I said, this has been an amazing journey. So the blessings have been just overflowing. We have a lot of things in the works. Some things that I can't even talk about yet, which is even more exciting because it's like so much coming. But as of now, we do have, of course, our spring/summer line dropping. We have those really dope like kente and African print swimsuits. So yes, girl, and I know you would love it. Yes. So we have those in the works. Of course, we're always creating really dope earrings. Everything is handmade, handcrafted. So you're gonna get one of ones, very unique pieces. We have the African swim trunks for men as well. So just definitely check us out for all of your beach wear, everything that you need.
Yes, for vacations.
Yes, vacations.
Do it for the gram. Get the matching swimsuits.
Get the matching swimsuits. Get all of that. With Mother's Day coming up, we also have Mommy and Me sets with the skirts and the dresses. And each one comes with head wraps as well. So y'all can get y'all, Mommy and Me matching on for Mother's Day.
And Mother's Day is in what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks now? Yeah. So make sure y'all order immediately, okay? Yes. Get it in.
Yes, get your orders in. Everything that we do have is in stock and ready to ship, but we'd appreciate it if you put your orders in as soon as possible so we can get those going.
Absolutely.
But yeah, in addition to that.
Show them the tights. Could you stand up and just show them? Because I love those tights. Throw that leg up, girl.
Yes, these are from Conscious Kingdom as well.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Get up. Look, them guys will be like, hey, queen.
Hey, queen, with that unk on your pants.
Yeah.
What's up, guys?
Yes.
And speaking of goddess, we do have our official, another line that we have dropping as a part of the Conscious Kingdom spring line is the Goddess Gang collection. So we have some really dope.
Gang.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yes, that's the most important gang to be a part of. Don't ever forget that you are divine, honey. But yes,
put it on a t-shirt.
Yes, we got the t-shirts, we got the dope dad hats, Goddess Gang and all of that. And in addition to that, our podcast is every Friday, Freedom Fridays. We have a lot of special guests coming up, a lot of prominent people in the D.C. area that we'll be working with. So we'll definitely have some super dope surprise interviews coming up.
Yes, I'm driving up to D.C. for my interview.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and we'll be doing some really dope travel vlogs as well.
Nice.
Please check us out. We just did one in Panama that shows you a bit of the African diaspora and Black people in other countries. That's very important for me to teach people that because I know the first time that I left this country and I saw somebody that looked just like my uncle, it freaked me out. I was like, oh my God, we're everywhere. But when I taught that, we're taught like, oh nah, like this is all we are and in Africa. But like we are everywhere. There are Black people that look just like you who speak Portuguese, girl.
Yeah,
like,
wow.
So definitely make sure you check out our vlogs as well. We have one online now that was from Panama that's super fun. So check us out on our Panama trip. And then we have another one coming up for the Dominican Republic in May.
Ooh.
So definitely check that out. And as always, just follow our Instagram. In addition to, of course, the clothing and the advertising and shouting out other Black-owned businesses, we always just post the information that's important to the culture as well. So any headline news, you can find it right there on our Instagram. We always have open I like to call them family discussions in the comments.
Yes.
So wherever is on your mind, if you see something and you like, I really ain't like that, like you don't have to then on your page, you can talk about it on my page, on Conscious Kingdom page, and we have very respectful conversations to educate one another. Like it ain't
it ain't like the shade room comments like where people are, like really degrading you or making you feel bad for thinking how you think. It's nothing like that at all.
It's a very safe space for everybody to share their thoughts. And in addition to that, respectable, absolutely. And in addition to that, like I said, we are always advocates at Conscious Kingdom. We're always advocates for healing, for Black empowerment, for unification. So if there is anything, you need a business consultation, you want to start a brand, you don't know where to start, you have your brand, you need help with your marketing, you just need somebody to talk to help you kind of get it aligned. We do offer business consultations. You can reach us. Everything, like I said, everything is Conscious Kingdom. We made it very simple.
Yes.
You can reach us online. You can email us as well, consciouskingdomck@gmail.com, or just go to any of our social media pages and DM us. So we have that. If you have a teenager or a young child, a young Black child that needs any help, anything, scholastically, academically, they need some help with something. We have tutors in place. We have, people with masters and their doctorates who are on staff to help them, to mentor them. We have a partnership with Creating a Better Me, LLC. They are a community organization that focuses on that as well. So we have a lot of different resources.
So based out of in D.C.? In the D.C. area? Or?
No, so that's the thing. Because I'm kind of all over the East Coast, we can really, and because of technology, we've done mentorship consultations and business consultations via FaceTime.
Nice.
So via FaceTime and email and text, we definitely make it fit your lifestyle because the ultimate goal is to help you. So definitely check us out. And then as always, check out all of our content and just the website. All of this is fueled by the support of the brand itself.
Yeah.
So please shop. It's some really dope, unique pieces. I really pride myself on curating a brand that is different and that stands out. So trust me, you will definitely be it will be one of those, ooh, where you get that from? And you can say Conscious Kingdom. So shop consciouskingdom.com.
All right, you all. So that is all that we have today with Miss Monica from Conscious Kingdom. Y'all already know it's Tisha Tuesday, so make sure you all catch me tonight. Well, not tonight, but this audio at 757 Dance Studio. This weekend is Something in the Water. Woo!
Yes.
Sit W. Swap.
Right. Major move for
exactly. So shout out to Pharrell Williams, a hometown hero, and for him just bringing out everybody that will be here. I have been hearing that Jay-Z supposedly, allegedly, have you heard that?
I have seen
that Jay-Z is allegedly supposed to be in town. I mean, but H to the Izzo, V to the Izzy. Dribble is the dribble down in VA. VA.
Down here.
Exactly. Come on now. So,
right.
if y'all see, like I already said, now you see me, now you don't. If you see me speaking, I'm keeping it moving because y'all already know what my ultimate goal is. To be on
Chris Brown. If you ain't know. And like I said, this girl is real genuine. She been saying that since I met her. Okay?
Yes, okay. I have been praying to the gods and all of that. To the ancestors. Okay. Lord, make it happen, make it work, okay?
Girl, you would be a good stepmom. I can see you in, what's her name, Royal?
Look
at you, Royal.
Come on, bud. We about to go get our nails and toes done.
I see y'all. Look, mommy and me day at the spa.
Yes, shoot. Get our little mommy and me little hair wraps going on.
Listen, I got y'all. I got it.
Exactly. All right, y'all. So again, to become a supporter of this podcast, just make sure you go onto Anchor click support this podcast,
Yes.
and you just sign up for however much you want to give on a monthly basis. So it's a monthly
Yes.
donation. So it's like paying your tithes, okay? So
Okay.
it really is. But you know, you can give
sow seeds into those who are out here putting in that work.
Come on now.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So to sow a seed, you can sow a seed as little as 99 cents a month, $4.99 a month, or the big dollars,
Yeah.
$19.99. Okay.
I mean, really think
Come
about
on.
it. Y'all spend that in.
Come on, y'all spend it on Netflix. My biggest one is the Planet Fitness. Y'all spend $21.99. Don't even work out.
Probably go
Come on.
once every 2 weeks.
Not even that. Probably ain't been in months.
Right. That hitting that check
Hitting that bank account on the 17th of every month. See, I already know. Like, stop playing. Y'all have.
So you can do the same to support a dope Black creative out here making dope content, using her Black experience to share her Black voice
for y'all Black ass. For y'all Black ass.
Look,
I said it. So I love my Black people though. I love y'all. Y'all know I love y'all.
Absolutely.
Y'all know it's genuine. I can talk about you. I'm like your girl. I'm gonna talk about you, but I mean it with love.
Right. It's
okay?
out of love.
But yes, so make sure y'all like, subscribe, comment, leave a review, share. If y'all have any questions for myself or Monica, if y'all want to purchase anything for Conscious Kingdom or have any questions, if you are really just getting into your spirituality and there are things that you still need clarification on, or there's, you know, things that you always thought and you just didn't know, we have people that can help you along your journey, along your spiritual journey, that can help guide you, that can help you with the resources, that can help you with books that you can read and other people that you can talk to, okay? So make sure y'all hit up Conscious Kingdom for any of your Conscious Kingdom needs, all right?
Yes.
All right, y'all. So it's Tisha the Diva. This is for my ladies, and I am out.